Just breathing, everyone, just breathing. Good to see you all. Come on in. The water's fine, you guys. Hey, everybody online, welcome. Officially, welcome to Unity in Naperville. I'm Kitty Benson. I'm the minister here at Unity, and it is a day to celebrate, a day of joy, a day of gratitude. I'll just tell you quickly, I was in a conference all this past week for our Great Lakes Unity churches, which is about 10 states. There's quite a few churches involved. Parker was our head AV person there, so give him some big props. Susan even came down to help him one day up in Lake Geneva, to help. So I was watching online because I just had a few other things going on here this week I needed to do too. But didn't want to try and throw a message together on a Sunday. So weeks ago, I contacted Reverend Shirley Lawson to come and be with us today. So she will be sharing with us. Yeah. I'll tell you a little bit more about her in a minute. Kim Char, just put your hand on your heart here for a minute. Her mama passed recently. Yeah. And she's traveling over the ocean. She's there now, right now in Hawaii, to be with her papa and some other loved ones. So just hold her in your heart this week. And if you don't mind, I'll step in over here, not to do what Kim Char does, but to sing the best I can with our awesome band, Highest Good. So give them some love.
Hey, we got a new singer. Woo!
Woohoo, woohoo, yeah. And if you're here for the first time, we're just grateful that you've chosen to take an hour out of your day to be in this energy and to bring your own heart with you, because you're contributing to what we feel in this room. And for all of you online who are local but just watching at home this week, we're just going to encourage you to come on in when you can, because it really is different here compared to what you experience online. I really think you'll enjoy it. So we're going to start with some music. If it feels good for you to stand while you sing, that's great. Otherwise, stay seated and let's have some fun.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Spirit move through me, from head to heart to hands. Through me, Spirit move through me, from head to heart to hands. Through me, Spirit move through. To heart to hands. Through me, there from the bounty, because I understand more blessings flow as I simply let it roll from head to heart to hands. Through me, Spirit move through me, from head to heart to hands. Through me, Spirit move through me, from head to heart to hands, from head to heart to hands, from head to heart to hands. Now let's sing Living in the Heart of God. 2, 4. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God.
We are living.
We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. Loving, nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are loving in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are loving in the heart of God. We are loving, we are loving, we are loving in the heart of God. We are loving, we are loving, we are loving in the heart of God.
God is real.
God is real. God is magnificent. God is love. God is love. God is kind. God is magnificent. God is love. God is love. I am magnificent. I am light.
You are real.
You are real.
Turn around and look at each other.
You are light. You are love. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are giving in the heart of God.
We are giving.
We are giving, we are giving, we are giving in the heart of God. We are giving, we are giving, we are giving in the heart of God. We are giving in the heart of God. We are giving in the heart of God.
Yeah, give yourself a hand. I'm just going to invite you to turn inward to your heart for a moment. Oh, what the heck? Just turn inward to your heart all the time. Just remembering that this is that open light ready to express itself brightly through us. It is that God presence that is the wisdom we seek, that is the creativity, that is the strength and power of our bodies. It is the energy that we form into our abundant flow. And it is love. It is love, my sweets. Just know that loving heart of God dwells right here at your center. And it is that heart right now that is working all things together for good. So grateful to know that, and now we allow it. So it is. Amen. We like to speak an affirmation every Sunday to remind us of the truth. I always say that if you learn this one, you can go home. And the thing about learning this one is, for me, it's continued to change. In my consciousness, it continues to have more and deeper meaning. So let's just take some time to speak it aloud together. There's only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Thank you. You may be seated.
Send my love
over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. Let's sing that again. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me.
I send my joy
Over the mountain, I send my joy. Over the sea, I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me. Send my peace over the mountains. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. And it returns to me. And it returns to me. Goodness, Lord, bless you. That was fun. Got to do that more often, huh? So as I mentioned, we are blessed this morning to have Reverend Shirley Lawson with us. I first met Reverend Shirley at the Fillmore Festival. Remember when I spoke there? Unity Village, back, I can't remember when, last summer maybe? Last fall sometime at Unity Village. And first of all, Reverend Shirley blessed everyone there with her morning prayer sessions. And we also had an opportunity to kind of do a give and take with whoever the speakers were. And when it was our chance to share, some of the things that I heard Reverend Shirley share from the audience were so profound. I thought, wow, she should be one of our main speakers up there. And then we got her back here at World Day of Prayer. If you watch World Day of Prayer, she was one of the speakers as we started that event this couple weeks ago, I think. So I was just so excited to be able to have her join us here today. And just so you know, Reverend Shirley was trained up by Reverend Johnny Coleman. I don't know if you remember hearing me speak about Reverend Johnny Coleman. She, first of all, was an ordained Unity minister. Reverend Coleman, Dr. Reverend Shirley, right? Dr. Reverend Johnny, ordained through Unity, and also was the first African American to live at the grounds of Unity Village, which up till that time, no person of color was able to do. So she broke ground for us there. And yes, God bless her. Thank you, Reverend Johnny. Yes, and then when she was ordained and went out into the world as a minister, she started the Universal Foundation for Better Living. And there is a megachurch in the city of Chicago right now that she began. And though she has made her transition, she, as I'm sure, still present. We're feeling her spirit wherever we think of her and hold her in our hearts. And that was where Reverend Shirley was trained, through Universal Foundation for Better Living as a licensed teacher and then as an ordained minister. And she also did, spearheaded the movement to honor Reverend Johnny during, when was it, 2016, just as a celebration of her great accomplishment to be the first African American to live at Unity Village, and in my opinion, to start that magnificent ministry of hers. And I'm sure that was a huge event that you put together, Reverend Shirley, and I know that lots of people were blessed by that. And she was also became a licensed practitioner and an ordained minister at the University of Metaphysics in Sedona, which was started by Dr. Paul Masters, in case that name sounds familiar to you. So we have a heavy hitter standing here with us this morning. Yes, and she has a book that she has brought that is available for sale out in the front room. It's $10, and if you don't have cash, we take checks and credit cards. Just take it over to the info table afterwards, and Susan can help you with that, in case I forget to mention it later. But please help me give a giant, warm welcome to Reverend Shirley Lawson.
Thank you so much, Reverend Kitty, for that warm welcome. Thank you all for warmly welcoming me here today. The song moved me. Like you, Kitty, I didn't get trained in singing, but when Spirit tells me to sing, I sing. Move me, Spirit, move through me, from head to heart to hand. Okay. Well, again, I invite you to turn within for a few moments as we begin these precious moments of coming together in a collective consciousness of oneness. And as we tap into the omnipresent energy, power, and presence of God that is all around us, we collectively recognize that there is but one presence, one power, one life, one spirit, one light, one mind in the universe, God, the good, the omnipotent, everywhere present spirit of absolute good. Into this presence we surrender all that concerns us, knowing that the God of our understanding is perfecting that which concerns us right here, right now, in this now moment. I give thanks that we are all open wide and spiritually receptive and available to receive that which God has for us. And as we become consciously aware of the Christ presence within ourselves, we will step into our greatness. We will step into our divine potential and begin living an enriched, empowered, and motivated life. I let it be so, and so it is. Amen. Good morning, Unity and Naperville. What an honor again and a pleasure and a privilege it is to be here with you today. Again, thank you, Reverend Kitty, for inviting me to speak in this beautiful sanctuary. Our hearts touched when we met each other. The topic that I've chosen today for us was inspired actually by the senior minister of the Verity Center in Toronto, Canada. I had an opportunity to speak there back in August it was. And the minister is the Reverend Lemetria Hall. In fact, we were classmates in the Universal Foundation ministerial training. And I have another minister that came with me today, the Reverend Sharon Metley, also trained and ordained by the Universal Foundation for Better Living. So before speaking to her, she had informed me that not only a number of women in her congregation, but also men were sitting around PMSing. Now, it's my guess that a number of you here are also sitting around PMSing. And if you are, I want to let you know and tell you this morning that it is a good thing to PMS. So look at your neighbor and say, it's a good thing to PMS. You don't want to do that? You got to wait until you find out what that is. So the title of my topic this morning is what I call practicing the PMS method. You like that? Practicing the PMS method. Our scriptural reference for this morning is taken from Psalm 16:11 from the New Revised Standard Version, and it reads, "You show me the path of life. In your presence is fullness of joy. In your right hand are pleasures forevermore." The book of Psalms illuminates the greatness of God and affirms God's faithfulness towards us all the time, but especially in times of seeming trouble. Through the Psalms, we learn about the importance of prayer, meditation, and the silence. The Psalms expresses trust in the Lord and speaks to the one presence, one power, and one source from whom all blessings flow. Would you agree? My message today shows how practicing the PMS method allows God to show you the path of life, how being in God's presence will fill you with joy, and how to become open and receptive to receive the divine gifts from God. Are you ready for that? It is so wonderful to speak to a community of faith that is aware of the 5 basic principles of truth, or the 5 healing principles upon which we stand for years. But if this is your first time here, or for those watching online and are new to this, let me give you a quick overview of that. As you read earlier this morning, well, there are 5 basic principles, or 5 fundamental principles of truth, which when understood, form the foundation on which the teachings of unity and the universal foundation for better living rest. And all other ideas flow out from these 5 basic principles. So the first one, which you read, there is one presence, one power in the universe, and as you read, in my life, God the good, the omnipotent. You see, we believe that God is omnipresent, everywhere evenly present. The Reverend Dr. Johnny Coleman would say it this way: there's no spot where the presence of God is not. God is omnipotent, all power, all the power there is. God is omniscient, all wisdom, all the knowing that there is. Anytime you get some wisdom and you get some intellect, guess where it comes from? The God presence that is within you. As principle, God is eternal, infinite, and unchanging, the source and the creator of all. Second principle is what we have learned, the divinity of mankind. But we know that there is a spark of divinity within each and every one of us. Do you believe that? There's a spark of divinity within each and every one of us. Our very essence is of God. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, well, everybody don't show that forth, right? But no matter how successfully you have covered up that Christ presence or that divine presence that is within you, it's in there. It's in there. It's just so covered up. And you know what you're covered up with? All those emotions that you shouldn't be having, that we shouldn't be having. I'm in it too. As humans, we are made in the image and likeness of God. We all have that spark of divinity within us. Therefore, we are inherently good or innately good. This God essence was fully expressed by our wayshore, Jesus the Christ. He developed and expressed the Christ where you didn't know where it began or left off. We're all spiritual beings, again, created in God's image. We are always connected and have direct access to God, the indwelling presence of God. And though intercessory prayer is welcome and needed, our contact with God does not depend on anyone interceding for us. Did you know that? Mm-hmm. We can receive direct guidance from the presence and the mind of God that is already within us. Third principle. We call it the value and power of thought. You see, there's value and there's power in your thinking. And this principle speaks to the formative power of thought and how we create or bring what we have in our lives. Let me hear some noise out there. So, yes. So you want to know how you get what you got in your life? You thought it there. We are co-creators with God. Our experiences are created by the activity of our thinking. What we think about, we bring about. Everything that exists in this manifest realm began in or with a thought. Everything begins in mind. I think it's in Revealing Word with Charles Fillmore, thoughts held in mind produce after its own kind or their own kind. It's like planting seeds. You cannot plant an apple seed and expect to get oranges, can you? I love how Charles Fillmore explains thought. He says, thought is a product of thinking, a mental vibration. Thoughts. Now listen to this. Fillmore, oh my God. You know, he's a good friend of mine. Somebody saw my revealing word the other day and said, she needs a new revealing word. I said, no, I don't. And it's falling apart. So listen to what Charles said. Thoughts are capable of expressing themselves. Did you get that? He says, every thought clothes itself in a life form according to the character given it by the thinker. The form, he says, is simply the conclusion of the thought. Now, the Reverend Dr. Johnny Coleman would say it this way: you are the thinker that thinks the thought that makes the thing. Fourth principle, practicing the presence. Now, that's a tool that we use to help us to abide and live in the presence of God. And it's done through PMSing. Prayer, meditation, and what is the last one? Silence. And also through using our tools of denials and affirmations, which we need to use those to help us change our consciousness and change our thinking. We connect and align our hearts with and minds with God, and how we connect with God to bring out and draw forth the good that we desire to have in our life is through this fourth basic principle. The last principle, the fifth one, the law of demonstration. You've heard of that? Or it's also can be called the law of mind action. Now, this principle speaks to the fact that I like the way they describe it in the book, The 5 Basic Principles. It's not enough to know the truth. It's not enough to know it. I wish I knew that quote from Morpheus in The Matrix, but I can't remember. But it's basically the same thing. It's not enough to know the truth. Action is needed. You see, there's a difference between knowing the principles and practicing the principles. We must also live the truth that we know. We must apply and demonstrate these truth principles in our daily lives through thought and action. In other words, we must walk it like we talk it. Walk it like we talk it. So our lesson today is based on what principle? The fourth, practicing the presence, practicing the presence. And so here we're going to be talking about practicing the presence. It's practicing the PMS method of prayer, meditation, and the silence. But I want to talk a little bit about that. So what is prayer? Prayer, from Charles Fillmore, is communion between you and God. And he says that this communion takes place in the innermost part of our being. He tells us that prayer, now this is one of my favorite definitions of Charles, and I had to come up to his consciousness to really understand what he was trying to teach us. Prayer is more than supplication. It is an affirmation of truth that eternally exists, but which has not yet come into consciousness. Do y'all get that? Have you ever prayed for something you already had? This is why he says it's more than supplication. And once we mature in consciousness and in God, the begging stops. I mean, you may fall back every once in a while and if you're going through something big, but remember what he says. It's an affirmation. It's an affirming of a truth, of an eternal truth that already exists, but it just hasn't come into your consciousness. It hasn't come into our consciousness. And that is why we pray. You see, prayer is not about begging or pleading with some external power or deity outside to give us something. Rather, prayer is really about assuming the feeling of already having or being what you want. Because whatever you feel and believe within yourself will be manifested into your reality. Neville Goddard, you familiar with him? Love him too. He's a friend of mine too. Neville Goddard said, prayer is the art of believing what does not yet exist. Is that not powerful? Prayer is the art of believing what does not yet exist. He says it's not so much about what we are asking for as it is about how we are preparing for its reception. Are you just praying to be praying? Or are you preparing yourself to receive what you're praying for? Make no sense to pray if you ain't going to prepare to receive it. Scripture says it this way: whatsoever you pray for, pray believing that you have received them, and you shall what? Have them. That was Jesus, greatest metaphysician that ever walked the earth. Whatever you pray for, pray believing that you already have it, because where does it happen? It happens in the now moment, not in the by and by. I am health now. I am prosperity now. I am perfect, whole, and complete now. It doesn't matter what the body is saying. I'm still going to affirm what's real about me. The only condition required in prayer is that you believe that your prayers are already realized. What is meditation? Did you know that meditation is one of your superpowers? Did you know that? Oh, well, I'm letting you know now. In her book, Your 3 Best Superpowers, meditation, imagination, and intuition. Those are your 3 superpowers: meditation, imagination, and intuition. Sonia Choquette states that meditation is a superpower that, if practiced consistently over time, will free us from the habit of allowing our thoughts to control us. See, when you meditate and you make it a habit out of doing that, it helps you to have more focus and concentration and control over your thoughts. They just don't go in and everywhere. Meditation, and this is Charles Fillmore, is continuous and contemplated thought on the aspects of God. It's thinking on a particular truth that you're trying to know. So take our 5 basic principles. Intellectually, you know, and you speak it every Sunday, that God is omnipresent. But do you really, really know that God is omnipresent? Can you stand in the midst of danger and know that the presence of God is there? We have to work at that, and we have to meditate so that we can come to understand that truth that we teach about. Again, Charles said meditation is a study effort of the mind to know God. He says it's our spiritual approach to God. And the purpose of meditation is to expand our consciousness Christward, so that we might bring into realization these divine truths so that we may be transformed in spirit, soul, and body. Sant Rajendra Singh Ji Maharaj, leader of the Science of Spirituality, said, which is right up the way in Lyles, meditation, he says, is the means by which we experience the love, peace, and stillness that is within ourselves. What is the silence now? So we've got the P, we got the M, now we won't talk about the S. Again, as you can see, I love Charles. He defines the silence as a state of consciousness entered into for the purpose of putting us in touch with divine mind so that the soul may listen to the still small voice. 1 Kings chapter 19 verse 12 tells us that after the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper. Just like God revealed himself or itself to Elijah in a still small voice, so it is the same way with us. God reveals himself or itself to us in a gentle whisper. You ever heard that? You ever heard the still small voice? Remember now, that's one of your superpowers. See, the still small voice is really your intuition. And this is how God imparts his wisdom through intelligence, through intuition, through inspiration. Have you ever been inspired? That's the breath of God, the breath of the Almighty God that has inspired you to do whatever it is that you're to do. God's voice is still and quiet. And if our minds are noisy and cluttered, we can miss it. Does that make sense? Just like meditation requires selective thinking, entering into the silence requires selective hearing. In closing, by practicing the PMS method, you will discover the mysteries or the mysterious activity of prayer. It is a conscious effort to experience more and more of God's presence in your life. It's a conscious effort to experience more of God's attributes in your life. Or our desire for greater good is really God desiring to express his attributes of life, love, wisdom, power, substance, peace, joy, success, prosperity, and fulfillment through us. You know, we teach in the UFBL that there are there's always five. There's 5 basic principles, but there are also 5 main ideas or attributes, you can call them. And that's life, love, wisdom, power, substance. Contemplate. Is there anything that you could ever need, want, or desire that cannot be found in one of those attributes? Kitty? It's all in there. The idea of life is an idea in divine mind of universal oneness, activity. expresses as wholeness. So we are desiring health in our bodies. We need to meditate on life. If we need more wisdom, we need to meditate on wisdom, because that's an idea in the divine mind of orderly knowledge. Remember, I told you, and it functions through us, through humankind, as intelligence, intuition, and inspiration. I could go through them all. Prayer is the key to heaven's door because it allows you to enter into the kingdom of God that is already within you, where all things are possible. Meditation is getting on God's wavelength, so to speak. Like listening to a radio, we tune into God's presence for our listening pleasure. And you know, sometimes as you are meditating and even moving into the silence, you may not hear that voice during that exercise. But you can get up and go on about your business and you'll get an aha. Anybody experience that? With the right understanding, meditation is a system that helps to unify the spirit, soul, body. And the final aspect of the PMS system is the silence. The most important thing about the silence is the conscious revelation or messages that comes from the Spirit of God. And to realize that what you gain in the silence must be incorporated into the very cellular structure of our being and converted into action. Did I have a mouthful there? This goes back again to the fifth principle, the law of demonstration. We must apply the principle in our lives. How can you know that they work if you don't work it? How can we know? I'm not just putting it on y'all because it's me too. How can I know that the principles will work in my life if I don't work them? If I don't take them into the laboratory of my mind and contemplate them and ponder them and meditate on them and sit in the silence so that the Spirit of God within can reveal to me. Myrtle Fillmore. She's another friend. Here's what she says about that in her healing letters. One can stay in the silence too much. I might sound like her, don't I? One can stay in the silence too much. One can get too much of this good, just as one can get too much nourishing food and then sit still, failing to convert it into living energy, she says. She says, so dear, watch that you do not remain too much alone, too much in the silence, too much in contemplation and adoration, and not enough in the practical use of what the works and the talks alone with God would give you. Make practical use of what you have gotten. And now, and now find a comfortable position for your body. Your feet flat on the floor. And you can have your hands resting in your lap in an upright receiving position. Close your eyes and Take a deep breath in through your nose to the count of 4, and exhale through your nose to the count of 4. Let's begin. Take a deep breath in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale through your nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale through your nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. I turn away for a few moments from the outside world, that I may enter into the interior world within my being, to abide and quietly rest in the presence of God that is within me. Prayer is the art of believing what does not yet exist. It is assuming the feeling of already having or being what you desire. Whatsoever you pray for, pray believing that you have received it, and you shall have it. Meditation is a steady effort of the mind to know God, to expand your consciousness Christward to that Christ mind or that God mind that is within your mind. Meditation is an expansion of your consciousness that will usher you into a realization of the eternal truths. Affirm after me quietly. I enter into the silence so that I might become one with divine mind. I enter into the silence so that I might become one with divine mind, so that my soul can learn to listen to the still small voice. And now, bring your attention to the third or spiritual eye, the point that is between and behind the eyebrows, the point that is the doorway to your soul as you practice the PMS method and make contact with the light and the mind of God that is already within you. If your mind wanders, simply bring it back to the point and or affirm anything from the lesson that resonated with you today. You can repeat a mantra, a word, or phrase that you're comfortable with.
such as love, peace, light, or any name of God that you're comfortable with. This meditation will be for 4 minutes. You may come back. In closing again, people have multiple closings. Practicing the PMS method is good, and so it is.
This is a time in our service where we share our tithes and our love offerings, and I always and right now feel so blessed by the love that you share from your heart. I feel that here today. I hope that Reverend Shirley felt that love in the room for her today, and we transform that divine energy, that which is invisible, into that which is visible, and to put it into action. So this is part of our fifth principle when we share our tithes and our love offerings. And so I'll just invite you to check with your heart and see how Spirit is guiding you to transform love into a tangible good that creates a space that continues to move eternally out into the universe and to all those that are reaching in here to Unity in Naperville. Thank you for creating this space with us. We have a way for you to give online at unityinnaperville.org, or if you'd like to mail a check to our P.O. Box, it's 9733 in Naperville, and the zip is 60567. And we bless this offering. That's the best way to send it out to do its great work, is to wrap it up in love. So let's just speak this blessing together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am grateful. Thank you. Ushers, will you come, please? I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Hey, wait, I'm back again. I'm Kitty Benson. I'm your announcer this morning. Grateful to have you joining us. Welcome to all of you who are here for the first time. We have a welcome packet just inside the door on a little table there if you'd like to learn more about Unity. And we also have a little orange registration card. If you'd fill that out for us, it will help us be able to keep in touch with you about what's happening at Unity. We send out an e-news every Tuesday. And if you'd like to also sign up for Kitty's new thoughts that come out a couple times a month on a good month, and then we can get you set up that way for you. Or you can do it yourself on our homepage at unityinnaperville.org. Also, we had a newcomers coffee scheduled today. Hopefully you got the message. We tried to put it out in as many ways as possible that we're canceling it and postponing it for later, because it turned out many of our leaders that you were going to come and meet could not be here today for a lot of different important reasons. So please forgive us for that, and we will be rescheduling that in the future. Tomorrow's Monday Morning Metaphysics with Reverend Mary Beth, and you can find out more about that on our calendar, and also connect with her online at the calendar on our website. It starts at 10:30 on Mondays, and we're studying the 5 principles, which Reverend Shirley prepared us for today, and it's an awesome book. Many of you, when you became members of Unity, you were given that book as a gift to new members. So this is your chance to study up a little bit if you're available during the day for that. I lead the grief support group that meets monthly. That's tomorrow night online, and you can access that through the website. And game night is up again this Friday. We're playing Bunko here at Unity only, so please join us Friday at 7. If you can bring a snack, great. If you want to put $2 into the pot, then you're eligible to help win a cash prize at the end of the evening, and we'll make sure and include instructions as to how to play when you get there. God bless you. Mwah. Enough of that. If you can attend, just RSVP to admin@unityinnaperville.org. Cindy Spees is back with her Energy of Spirit gathering. How many of you have taken that before? Great. Okay, she's going to be here in the sanctuary Sunday, October 8th, so that's next Sunday after the service. It's non-strenuous, so if you want to do this in your chair, that's easy enough for you to do. It's to help with mental clarity, overall energy, sleep, mood. Love offering is $10. So look on the calendar again for more information. And we have the backroom discussion for all of you online next week. I will meet you in the Zoom room after the service just to connect and see how you're doing. I know there's a lot of you out there watching that have never joined me in that discussion, so I hope to get to know you a little bit better, and you can ask me questions. Check out again on the event calendar on how to log into the Zoom room. The Crafters Circle, after a long absence since before COVID, is back again. Yay. So if you craft, whatever it is, we're doing it here at Unity on October 13th. So bring your fun stuff, and we just hang out and chat and craft at the same time. And we're starting a new service project for Loaves and Fishes Food Pantry. So we're going to ask you to bring something from the grocery store that's on our list out here. There are specific items they're really in need of. You can grab it at the front room table, or you can get it online on our website or in the e-news that comes out on Tuesdays. And we start collecting that food on October the 15th for 3 weeks. And I'm starting a new class. My fall class begins on October 24th. The books are for sale at the info table out here. Sorry, we can't do them online, but if you go to Amazon.com, you can order the book. And here it is, The Super Beings by John Randolph Price. Rev Shirley, have you ever read anything of his, John Randolph Price?
I've taught a couple of his books.
Okay.
But that was years ago.
Okay.
So, yeah, that sounds great.
Oh, I'm so excited. I found that book at Unity Village, and it turns out that he's right in line with Unity's teachings. He throws in the 12 powers there. So we're going to do that online only, Tuesday nights at 7 for 4 weeks. If you sign up, we need you to pay in advance, to register in advance. If you can do that for all 4 weeks, you get a discount of $40. You can do that at the info table with Susan today, or you can do it on our website starting on Tuesday. It'll be available for you to register online. Otherwise, it's $15 a class. So check out, again, our e-news and the calendar for more details on that. We have prayer chaplains here today. Carol, if you just stand so we can see who you are. Thank you, Carol.
Thanks, Carol.
Carol is available to pray with you one-on-one in confidence today in our meditation room. It's the first right as you come out the door here. And if you're watching online and you'd like prayer, just send her an email to prayer@unityinnaperville.org, and she will just include your phone number in your email, and she'll give you a call before 1 o'clock today. So all the details for all of our events are always on our website calendar at unityinnaperville.org. And it's also a way to find access to anything that we do online to connect with any link that's needed. Let me just remind you, what's the name of your book, Rev Shirley? Golden Spiritual Nuggets, available in the front room after the service for $10. And Steve already has his, of course. He's signed up, ready to go. Thank you for that. I'll be out front if you want to say hey, want to catch up, and then Rev Shirley will be wandering around. Will you hang out with us?
Oh, what if I go out somewhere to sign, autograph the book?
Look at that. She's going to sign your books for you. So she'll be out there by the books. Come out and say hi to her and give her some thanks and hugs for today. And hopefully that was a long list. Did I get it all, Susan? We're good to go?
Good.
All right. Thank you for that. So how about just raise your hand, better yet, stand up. If you were born in the month of October, would you stand
Yay.
up?
Woo.
Jill was in the room. Kim Char's in Hawaii.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friends. Happy birthday to you.
I always like to say on every birthday, plan on this coming year to be the best year of your life so far. Look forward to that. If you'd like to stand and sing, let's do our last song. Otherwise, stay seated. We're doing an old classic that I grew up with in my Baptist church, but we turned it into a James Brown version, if that's okay. All right.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family
One other thing I didn't mention about Rev Shirley is that she has her own ministry now. If you want to follow along with her, it's Meditative Life Ministries. Is that a website they can go to? Or do they just email you if they want to know more? Facebook page. And the name of the Facebook page is Meditative Life Ministries 2. The number 2, Meditative Life Ministries 2 on Facebook. And I know that you have a call in, like you can do a conference call with her on Saturdays, is that right? Is it weekly or monthly? Weekly, okay. So you know what, check with her for the details out here. If you want a phone number to call, maybe you know that, maybe you don't. Turn her up, will you please?
I forgot to, well, I did invite you to come join us for Saturday on our Zoom.
That's
Meditative
right.
Talks
That's
on
November,
Truth.
though, right?
No, that's Saturday.
Okay, let's talk more after, all right?
We're still diving deep into the principles.
Wonderful.
So
you're
if
talking
you,
about your regular weekly call.
this is the Zoom session. So there's a monthly Zoom session.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
We'll figure it
Let
out.
me know if you
Yeah.
can. We'll
Yeah, I'll
plan.
put
We'll
it on
plan
our
something
page
else.
too, our Unity Naperville page and my Unity Peeps and stuff. We'll let you know
Okay,
what's going on.
all right.
Okay, thank you for that. All right, here's our closing affirmations for today. I found this picture and I thought, wow, I want to be there. Yeah, isn't that gorgeous? All right, so let's say this together. I speak the truth in prayer. I listen for truth in meditation. I know the truth in silence, and I am free. Hey, before you step out today, would you just turn to someone you haven't met yet, introduce yourself, even if you think you've seen them but you can't remember their name, connect, join us out front. Have a great week, everyone. Love you.
All of you is more than enough for all of me, for every thirst and every deed. You satisfy me with your love, and all I have in you is more than enough. You're my supply, my breath of life. Still more awesome than I know. You're my